What's up, world? This is Alex Riley, founder of Madison Up, Inc., and I'm in the Maitland Conservatory, so tune into tmill, you hear me?
Yeah.
tmill, come out and play.
Play it loud.
We're changing the status quo one voice at a time through music, edutainment, children, and awareness. We're progressing and preserving the culture through real conversations with people who've had real success. Multicultural artists and musicians, models, entrepreneurs, innovators, and activists. This is Paradox East, and you are in tune with tmill. Powered by the maitlandconservatory.org.
Thank you for listening to In Tune with tmill.
Cool. Welcome you guys to another episode of In Tune with tmill. I'm your host, tmill, live from the Rocket City. You will now be encouraged and entertained. Nothing will change until you change something. We are here to change the status quo, man. I've got a very special guest. And I know y'all hear that and you think, well, every guest is special. Well, I interview special people. You know, so you don't take that for granted. When I say special guest, I mean they're literally a special guest. I don't just bring on anybody. I don't want to share these experiences and have these people come to you that's going to just lead you the wrong way. All right? I want to try to, if I did have a stamp, then if it meant anything, just know that special guest doesn't come easy. Otherwise, everybody would be on the show. So I do have a special guest. This brother, man, we've known each other for a short time, but it feels like we grew up together. And those are people that you connect with, that you get to know in a short period of time, and you just know, like, hey, this is going to be special. This is going to be a connection. This is somebody that I can relate to. So people that we can relate to, we tend to want to be, or should want to keep ourselves around that person. And you don't have to talk to each other every day, but keep in contact and try your best to stay connected. And this brother, man, I mean, whether it's being a community activist, public speaking, also being the founder and president of Madison Up, and the CEO of Riley's Underdogs Talent and Booking Agency, and just an overall cool, down-to-earth dude, man. Alex Riley is in tune with tmill. How's it going, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Highly favored. Glad you're here. We're live at the Maitland Conservatory, and this episode I know we've been working on for a minute.
Right.
And I was trying to remember coming into, and it just hit me. I was thinking about it for days. And as I was telling the story, I was like, man, where did I meet Alex?
Yeah.
And it was at a meeting,
right,
at the Color of Music.
The City Hall building in Huntsville.
Yep, Multicultural Affairs at the mayor's office. And I said, when everybody was introducing themselves or just telling about what they were doing and how they were doing it, and you got to talking about it, and I was like, man, where's this guy at? And it just sounded interesting. And I was definitely taken aback by what you were doing. And then I went and looked it up and then started reading about it and everything. So my first introduction to you is Madison Up.
Yeah.
And I want to start with that because I think, if not now, yesterday, it is very important for what you're doing, like for the longest.
Right.
And when I knew that there was a brother doing something in Madison for what you're doing, and I had to be a part of it and I had to share that with people. So what is Madison Up?
All right, so Madison Up is a 501c3 nonprofit organization where we do events for the kids and teenagers to keep them out of trouble. Main purpose of Madison Up, for our low-income, historically underserved areas in the city of Madison is we want to fill that void. We want to create outlets of hope, play, activity, exercise, and bring generational change. For however long the city is an establishment, Madison Up, by delivering something like a park, playground, and community enrichment center, That's what our focus is. So, now the way you look at it is this. So say within the next 5 or 10 years, right? The city of Huntsville and Madison is going to have a major spike in growth.
Yes.
All right. And so in that growth, you're going to have diversity. So what I challenge the city of Madison to look at is this. How are you prepared to deal with the diversity that's coming to your city?
Or are they even considering it? Because to some, it may not even be a conversation. It may be whatever. We're going to do us.
Right.
Forget diversity. We may not. A lot of times, I don't think we're even in the equation. But that's a good question that you're asking. But go ahead.
So to ask that question is for me to say, okay, if you don't have anything planned, we have a solution for you.
Yeah.
So when I go to city council meetings and all that, most people are in there with complaints. They're complaining
all the time.
when I go in there,
all the time,
I speak with cause, effect, and solution.
Yeah.
This is how we can make change. This is how we can get it done. And I'm offering this opportunity and inviting you to support this cause. Now, whether if they have decided to be a part of it or not to date, it's not too much of a big concern for me. But at the same time, it is a concern because you want to work with your city leaders. But your city leaders has to want to work with you, knowing that you're doing something good in the community.
I mean, now, how have they reacted to that, or how have they responded to that in a light? Sound like the air came on or something. So how have they responded to that, to you providing those solutions and that that as hold on, what is that? Like, man, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's been the response now that, once you brought those to city council and once you talked to them about that, what's been the response with that?
Okay, so I would say the response has been more so just a response. We've put together the paperwork. We've done the research. We've sat down with the mayor and the city council representative for the district that these underserved areas are in, and we've let them know exactly what we're looking to do and how we're looking to do it, and like I said, inviting you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But really all we've got is just chatter, and that's not what I'm about. I'm not about empty rhetoric. The ideal for me is that if I say I'm gonna do it, that means I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go out here and get it done, and I'm gonna do it
you've
with
also
or
come
without
with a
you.
solution. You know what I'm saying? Like, not as, because you've talked to me about it before, and I've heard you present it and talk about it in these different interviews, and whether it be TV, radio, or whatever. And it's not to where you're asking for a whole lot.
Yeah, right.
You're more or less asking for the support, and
the backing,
the awareness in the backing, and the backing as in, it's not like you're going, we need $30,000, then this could happen, because otherwise that's an idea. Anybody could do that. You've actually got a full plan mapped out, of how we can do this. And not only that, but you've put together like things like Fix the Gate or the block party and all these different things to do it. So you've got action, and a plan behind it.
So let me show people something. So I created a system called the web. All right, and this system is a system of support formed by local businesses, churches, schools, nonprofit organizations, and will include the city council representative. So the mission of the web is to serve our low-income areas of the Madison community through collective planning and serve days. On these days, we can incorporate the following: trash pickup days, community meetings, activities and events. Get to know your city council representative. Get to know the police department. Holiday events, get to know your local churches, businesses, nonprofits, and so forth. And the list goes on with how many innovative things that we can do in a community. But at the same time, like I said, we're not just sitting here and hoping and wishing and relying on help. We're saying, okay, if you won't be a part of it, we're going to continue to get out here and do it, and you are going to have to follow our lead when you're supposed to be our leaders. So something like this, take the web for example. A city council representative is supposed to put together something like that for their district.
So you're doing that job.
Yes, basically. So you know what I'm saying. And, I call it for what it is. It's time to stop sugarcoating the truth. A lot of times I would notice myself in the last 2 years, I've spoke the truth, but I've worded it in ways because my first background is music, so I know how to word a lot of things. But
very well, because you got bars.
So it comes a time where the truth has to be direct. It has to be said, and it even has to ruffle feathers at times because it's time to stop playing around. These areas has been underserved for years, and from what it looked like, and I only been in the state of Alabama for 9-10 years.
Oh yeah,
but,
Madison's looked like that since Madison got out there.
Right, so you know what I'm saying, with something like the web, and then we're saying publicly we're working to deliver this park, playground, and enrichment center on an empty lot of land that's accessible to all 8 of these low-income communities. That's right there in their reach. See, this area where these communities are, they don't even have a sidewalk where these people can get to the nearest corner store, to the nearest shopping center. So what's going on is these people are basically quarantined in an area where they can't even get out unless you actually have transportation. So we're saying, hey, what we want to do is we want to build a walking trail from West Madison Elementary through the apartments, since there's no sidewalks next to Wall Triana, through the apartments that connects to that lot of land where it creates a safe haven for parents, kids, every resident that stay in the area. Now they can have exercise on a regular, you know what I'm saying, and get to a place that's accepting and welcoming to them 7 days a week. See, reality is there's different ethnic groups in the city of Madison, but there's no representation for all these different ethnic groups. There's no multicultural affairs office. And that's a healthy thing for a city, because that's saying, hey, we're acknowledging that we have diversity in our city. So we want to embrace these cultures, but on my end in Madison, there's not that. So with me running a nonprofit organization that's a multicultural affairs organization, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm incorporating all colors, all ethnic backgrounds into this. We want you to come and be a part of this progress right here. You know what I'm saying? This is the first phase of everything. And what I truly believe is that what we implement right here in Madison, in this area, is going to be replicated around the country. That's some words to say. Now they say, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Well, listen, let me tell you, I'm a dream. See, you know what I'm saying? You got to. See, you feel me? Like,
because here's the thing, if no one does it, how does it get done? So I think sometimes we look to the city to do it. We look to the police department to do it, and we look at all these places, but that's in a sense sort of taking away our own power and abilities. Like, why do we have to go to, not to discredit them in some of these different places, but I think we don't give ourselves enough credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just the everyday average person. Why can't we create a city of multicultural affairs in Madison? Why can't we build an enrichment center? Why we can't we build a sidewalk? It's just concrete.
Exactly.
You lay it down and somebody got to do it. And not only that, but you got to look at the how Madison is building, right? And you look at right there at Wall Triana. All right. Now down that street, you've got all these different businesses. All those people in that neighborhood, they have to go to these places. They need things from the Dollar General, or they need things from the tire center, or they need things from when they get off of work and they want to go to the bar and have a drink or have some food or whatever. They need all these different places,
Right.
they need them. They'll use them. But if they don't have a way to get to them, and someone will say, well, they need to get a car, or they need to get this, or they need to get that. Look, one feeds the other. You know what I'm saying? And some people, by being that close, I think drives business to that area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no one's going to be walking down this road that ain't got no sidewalk at night or in the afternoon and get ran over by a bus.
It's truly a hazard. Now you have to ask yourself, would you want your kids out of your supervision walking down that strip like that? You know, there's not even a boundary where it eliminates the hazard.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, for us, we're innovating. We're saying, let's build a trail that completely eliminates the hazard of being hit by any motorist. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Let's create something where now this park, playground, and enrichment center can be a direct amenity to every community surrounding it. Not only that, see, there's this scale thing where the state of Alabama numbers its best cities in the state.
Yeah.
You know? And so I believe last year Madison was number 2.
Wow.
On that list.
Wow.
Last year. But this year they fell down to number 24 or something like that, I believe. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to look at these type of things.
Yeah.
So what exactly are we doing wrong?
Yeah.
And how can we improve it?
And
so
who's doing anything about it? You know what I'm saying?
On my end,
yeah,
this is the way I look at it. You have to look at the city from a wide spectrum, not just certain aspects or certain areas.
You have to look at the whole
of the city,
not just a corner.
So don't forget about your grassroots areas of your city that's been there longer than all the other surrounding things that's just been placed there a couple years ago. So look to build from within. And help it grow from within. Then it'll be like a beautiful rose.
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying, that grew from the ground. Like the petals are gonna be beautiful. The rain gonna shine on it. You know, the sun gonna shine on it. The rain gonna fall on it. It's gonna grow beautifully.
Yeah.
And for me and my board on our end, that's exactly what we're doing. We're growing from within. So the web is gonna get us deeper into the community and hands-on into the community. So June 3rd, we're having the first community meeting for the area, and
that was going to be my question to what the community is. What's been their response or some of their involvement or how are they coming together? Because again, because the city council, we already know what they're doing or not doing. So now it comes to the community, and we know you're doing this, and then your company is doing this, your nonprofit is doing this, but then it also is going to take the community to do this, in whatever capacity they can. Not that they have to dump a bunch of money into it, but what's been the community's involvement and response so far?
Okay, so I'll tell you like this. The community's involvement is about to start. What we did was we went around that whole process and we started planting seeds. You know what I'm saying? Breaking ground. So now we're to the point where we're in negotiation with the landowners as we speak.
Right.
That's powerful right there. That's saying we're making progress. Now we're at this stage where we want to introduce this whole plan to the community, to the people. So now we can have the people fully involved and fully in the know on what's going on. So June 3rd is that opportunity for everybody to get an opportunity to feast their eyes on it and just have an open forum with the community. How can we better serve you? What can we better serve in this community? You know what I'm saying? How can we have a stronger impact in this area? So that's where I feel like that creativity comes in. And now to have the community meeting June 3rd, people are going to get an opportunity to take part in it, be involved in it.
And what would be the things, so for the people that are out there that, and specifically for that community, well, I'll say anyone. So for the people that, what do you think it's going to take community-wise for people to, because they may think, in order for me to be a part of this, I gotta have money. Or in order for me to be a part of this, I gotta know politics. And to us, we may be thinking, that people don't think about that or think like that, but there are. You know, when people see something that may be, and not that it's an easy task, but it's easy for us to do, or we have the ability to do it.
Yeah.
We sometimes discount, or not discount ourselves, but we discredit ourselves.
Yeah.
Once again, we think, oh, I can't get involved in that. I don't know anything about politics.
Yeah.
Or I can't get involved in that. I don't know anything about city council. You know, so what can they expect as far as how to get involved, or you know, what ways that they can get involved, whether they live in the community or not, and they may be from somewhere else. You know,
this is the first thing I would say. If you want to get involved, the first thing for you to do is to come out to the community meeting. You know, get to hear the people's concern, get to hear their voice, get to know who they are, shake hands. That's being involved. That's not asking you for any money. That's just a natural step of saying, hey, I want to introduce myself to you just as much as you want to introduce yourself to me. The next step is, you know, revealing the Park Playground and Enrichment Center project to everyone. From there, we'll have, you know, a document where it's stating, hey, if you would love to see this in your area, please sign your signature, your first and your last name. And what we'll do is we'll send those documents off to our city council representative and our mayor to let them know to put that on the agenda.
right?
So now these people have voiced their opinion. This is something that they would actually love to see. See, when we sat down with the city officials, all we asked at this time was this: we're sending off a proposal to the landowners, you know, to in whatever situation, whether if they want to gift the land to our 501c3, do a partnership, or come up with a percentage where, you know, we can buy it. Either way it go, either way it go, we're going to acquire the land. Whether we have to buy it, whether they donate it, whether if it's a partnership, because it's for the community and they deserve it. So for me, there's no failure in it. There's no turning back. But we ask, hey, just send a letter off in representation behind us to say, hey, we fully support this project in the city of Madison.
Because I think that'll definitely carry a lot of the weight. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like, we don't need any money from the city, we don't need any, you know, big favors from the city. We just need your moral support and that stamp of approval in a sense to say, hey, look, we stand behind this, and we will continue, you know, to stand behind this. But to get this ball rolling, this is what we can do. And then when people see that, oh, word, okay. You know, as far as a landowner or a business owner or anybody, once they see that, it carries a lot of weight. But then it also says a lot when the community comes together in numbers and in support, and they see how many people are supporting, and they say, oh, man, this is how many people that care about this, or this is how many people care, you know, that care enough to come together to do this. You know what I'm saying?
So check this out. So, you know, inside the Enrichment Center, the plan is to embed, you know, all kind of programs that can benefit the people or the community around it. You know, with job resources, tutoring for kids after school, plan and host community yard sales, make gift baskets, you know, crafts for the community. You know what I'm saying? A lounge area for, you know, kids after school. You know what I'm saying? Play in the back. You feel me? Back to school parties. You know, tutoring, host funds, you know what I'm saying, implement and supervise social media stuff, you know, so even a studio inside of it, a gym, you know, workout areas. So we're saying we want to improve the quality of life in this area and for the people, you know, to where we can get into the second phase and see. I haven't told anyone the second phase, but this is an opportunity where I'm gonna tell it now. So you're gonna get this. You're gonna get this
right here on In Tune with tmill, the exclusive. All right.
So across from Timberlane, Michael Avenue, Madison Haven 1 and 2, there's an empty lot of land.
Sure
it's been empty for a while. So this is the crazy thing is this: the city's plan within 5 and 10 years, from doing research, is to put a police department across from it.
Wow. Come on.
Yeah. So what that says to me is this. What that says is blatant discrimination. You know, you're basically saying these people are these people are criminals. They're the only area where
this
crime
is where we need. You know,
this
is the hub where we need it at.
And you know what? I think personally that's a backwards way to look at progress and improving your community overall. You know, so for us, you know, looking at the second phase, putting a shopping plaza across from that. Now let me tell you, the shopping plaza will be specifically essential to the community across.
Absolutely.
So let's say this, you know, it's so many ideas you can put in this plaza, but you want to put the right things in it. So
of course.
Let's look at a Dollar Tree. A Dollar Tree has everything that's accessible for housing and apartments. You know what I'm saying? And it's $1. You know,
if you gotta go something quick. If you had a Dollar Tree next to you, that's where you would spend most of your time at. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like you don't have to drive 3 miles down the road to get something that expensive. You can go right here to drive that business right there from that community. But, yeah, go ahead.
So, you know, a Dollar Tree. I've already talked to, you know, a barbershop owner. You know, a barbershop would be essential across from these areas because there's so many kids, young adults, and parents, you know, that just need haircuts.
Absolutely.
And it's right there, accessible. You know what I'm saying? It's right across the street from them. They don't have to go far. Let me tell you what that creates. That creates 100% convenience. Two, what it creates is it creates savings. Now people can save a lot more than what they're spending on gas and all that to go around
3 miles down the road to get to the Dollar General, you know.
So I'm gonna get to the punchline. I'm gonna get to the punchline. So, you know, a barbershop. Let's say, you know, we look at something like a laundromat. There's these communities are mostly apartment complexes. And most of these apartment complexes don't have a washer and dry area. So a laundromat, you know what I'm saying, would be perfect in this plaza. And once again, now this is right across the street. This is progressive planning. You know what I'm saying? To where now, you know, it draws business for the area, but it's saying when you bring new developments to an area, you improve the standard of living. In the area. All right. So looking at that from that aspect, and you know, even, you know, maybe who knows, you know, maybe a wing spot. You know what I'm saying?
That was going to be my next one.
Rick Ross. Rick Ross, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? I heard you on Buy Back the Block. You said that, you know, that you looking to buy a shopping plaza. Well, listen, let me tell you.
Where you gonna go when you washing your clothes? You gotta eat some wings. You gotta have something to eat. Eat just some wings. You know?
let me tell Rick Ross. Look, man. I want for real. I want to get you to come up to the city of Madison to where you can get a full glimpse of the amazing things that we're doing out here with Madison Up Inc. And I want to interest you in purchasing that lot of land, so you can build on that lot of land, which will, in result, will help the community across from it. You know, 100%. So I think it'll be beautiful for you to come out, and you know, any other artists in the entertainment business that would love to come out and be a part of this. The only way, you know, I've told my board members, the only way I see this thing being able to get done for us to facilitate this park playground in the Richmond Center, $5 million is to go national with it. So we're looking to go on Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, Roland Martin, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Smiley, you know, whatever national outlet that we can get on to, you know, tell the story, to show them that we're out here and we want to improve this community in this way. I don't think nobody should be against that.
Nah, and one thing I wondered is, and I say I want to challenge all of us, that when somebody said that the whole purpose or one of the opportunities in any diverse community or any ethnic community, any minority, is a lot of times, and maybe this is in inner cities, maybe not so much of your, you know, some of your countries, but we have people that maybe come from the hood or they come from bad neighborhoods and they come up not under the best circumstances, but they're able to get an education, you know, to move on, make a career. And sometimes they're able to stay within the state or they stay within the city, but then a lot of times they may move away because the opportunity is just not there. But the opportunity becomes once you get to that point, and I know there's people that do it, but I would like to see, and I'm saying myself as well, you know, challenging you and I, and once we get to a level to go back, you know, to that same community, because I guarantee it's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like the same bad hood that we came from is probably still there. To go back and buy the block, you know, to say, okay, once I get a little paper, let me go back and invest, or you know, get with a couple of the homies and say, all right, look, you get 100, you get 100, you get 100, you get 100, and let's just build us a wing spot and a Dollar Tree down in this neighborhood. It's gonna make money. We ain't gotta worry about it. But you know, to see the opportunity in a developing city like Madison, you got a lot of people. For those of y'all that may be thinking, "No, this is crazy." All these developments that are happening in Huntsville, whether it be the Madison Square Mall, what they're doing with that, the Campus 805, and all these different things, and what's going on downtown. It's not a lot of people that's from the area that are building these developments. These are a lot of people that are from New York, surrounding areas that see dollar signs and see development and have a vision. Word? I can't build nothing in New York. There ain't nowhere to build anything. I can't. There's no room. You telling me I could, for what? Rent in New York is ridiculous. So you mean to tell me that I can build an apartment complex, or I can build a Campus 805, or I can build a mall or a Bridge Street down south for this price? And I would pay 10 times that much in New York to do that, and I ain't got nowhere to do it. I've got nowhere to put my money. So people are looking for places to put their money. And when you see someone like a Rick Ross or whoever, you know what I'm saying, whether they be a doctor, and a lot of these guys, the guys downtown, a lot of them are doctors and people that just got money. They need to put it into something. You can't keep it in the bank forever. You gotta put it into something to grow. So when they see that opportunity, I think a lot of people should bring it back to the hood or back to the block, and again, improve the quality of life, because it's going to come back. And I'm not saying you got to put a Space and Rocket Center in the middle of it down there, because who going to want to go to, some people going to want to go to that, but is that really going to make more sense than a laundromat? No. So buying that and sometimes coming back to the hood, putting that stuff back into the community, I think we ought to take advantage of that. And to bring that money back, and to say, all right, I made this money, or I moved here, or I did this, or I did that, but let me go back to where I came from. So that kid that came up, like I wished somebody would have came and did that when I was coming up. So let me go back and do that. It don't have to be a lot. It ain't got to be a wing spot. It could be a wing hut. It could be a food truck. Whatever it is, you know, just something. You know.
And you know, for me, this, you know, there's a saying in New Orleans where, you know, if you live past 25, you are OG. And so
25.
Yeah, 25.
Sheesh.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the statistic for black males in New Orleans, you know, a lot of black males dying at the age 18 and under 25. You know, due to street violence. So you know what I'm saying. Katrina being a blessing and a curse, you know, at the same time, it ridded me away from, you know, going down that violent path, that same path where I didn't have hope for a future. You know, I didn't care to live or die. You know, for me personally, I was waiting to get shot.
And what part of New Orleans did you grow up?
We was born and raised in the Third Ward Projects, the Callio Projects, and then we moved to the West Bank. You know, Marrero, the Break Jungle. So, you know what I'm saying? Both hoods, you know what I'm saying? They had their own, you know, trials. You feel me? Their own challenges. And growing up in the midst of it, it's like I didn't notice how bad it was for us psychologically until my oldest brother came up here one year. He was like, we was all sitting in the front room and we was watching the news, the Huntsville news, and he was like, where y'all murders at?
Wow.
He was surprised.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What he
Yeah.
was saying is in his reaction.
Yeah.
Where's the murders at?
Yeah.
Because in New Orleans, you're hearing about this normally. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Multiple bodies. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we were living in the midst of all this to where it's like our mindset was like, this is normal. You know what I'm saying?
Like it just happens.
Yeah,
everywhere.
right. So we'll just be like, dang, man. That's bad, but then go
Yeah.
right back on to life. You heard me?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, just in the midst.
Yeah.
In the midst of it all. So that's when I realized that we really were poisoned inside our mind. We were sick, and there's a realization when you get older, when you wake up, when you become older than 25 to have OG status. So for me, I use my OG status and my experience from New Orleans, growing up in real rough neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying, to give back to the community. You know what I'm saying? Because I have the opportunity, I have the luxury, and I have the breadth in my body to do so.
And do you think, I think there's people that are here and in New Orleans and everywhere that come from those cities that see that vision or that opportunity and do it. And I could be wrong, and Lord knows I have been and I will be more times. But I think there maybe few, or I just don't see as many. But what I see a lot more is people that aren't from the area or from the city, or that move or migrate, or whether it be through their parents or whatever, that come with sort of an appreciation a little bit more for that area. And it's almost because of where they come from, and they see the opportunity and they go, word? There ain't no murders? All right, I think I can live here a little bit. I think I can build me a business.
Right.
Word, rent don't cost that much here. I think I could buy me a couple houses, you know, or whatever. As opposed to the people that have been here forever in the area and maybe just don't see it because it's. And again, I think there are people here in the city that see those opportunities, able to appreciate it a lot more, and to really take advantage of it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Just being real, because again, that's how it happens. Now you also mentioned.
Yes, sir.
You also, because I want to make sure, and for those of y'all that are listening or you're watching the video live, or we're not live on the video, but you're watching the video, I want you guys to also ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, challenge our guests. You know what I'm saying? Challenge Alex. Talk to him. Ask questions. Get out there and get involved, because we see these things. We talk about these things, but then when we see them, sometimes we don't act upon them. And we're like, man, if there was just somebody that was, you know, doing this or doing something for the community or doing this, that, and the other, I would get involved. But make sure you guys drop your questions and also get involved with it.
I would actually say this to, you know, everyone, if they have any questions. The thing is that we have to understand that we have to take blame as well as the people, as the residents. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much finger pointing. I blame myself. I blame, you know what I'm saying? I blame the businesses around the area. I blame the officials. But we have to all take blame. Now that we took the blame, now let's go. Let's create the solution. You know, so sometimes I think the people have to go ahead and do it. And then the city officials and all that, they have the budget to back it. If it's, you know what I'm saying, healthy
absolutely
for the community. So that's been my approach to, you know, I decided to stop asking. And when I decided to stop asking for it, that's when things changed. We said we're just going to go with it.
And I'm glad you said that, because my grandfather once said, buy land, God ain't making no more of it. And I think we sometimes forget the power in owning. Or the power that we have with our dollars. Because just imagine 1 month that we shopped at one local business. You know what I'm saying? So instead of going to a Walmart or a Kroger, that we went to the local
Lucky's store.
The local Lucky's or something. Or the food market, you know what I'm saying? Or the fresh produce. Just 1 month. What that would do to that business. What that would do to a local auto body shop that if we stopped going to all these different auto mechanics and we went to one local auto mechanic or the neighborhood mechanic, what you will start to see some new tools in the shop. He might wind up buying a shop. You know, you see him riding around in a different car like you done came up. Well, yeah, because business is good, you know. But I'm doing it out of my garage because I ain't got a shop right now. I ain't got enough business. Or they move and go somewhere else because they don't have the business. So if we took some of that money or some of the dollars and whatever, and it could be $1, I'm talking literally $1. Of course, it's gonna take more, but if it took $1 to whatever we could put into it, and if it's important to us to really invest in, let's just say for the park, and say, look, y'all, this is how much this is gonna take. This is what we gonna do. Let's really get together. I'm talking everybody from the blue collar worker to the dope dealer to let's put a little money together and let's just do it ourselves. All right, let's make sure that we protect it. Let's make sure that we invest it, that we got insurance, whatever it is that we're not saying to put the money in and not get anything back. But imagine all the stuff that we do waste money on. Man, if I put all the money that I spent on wings into a local business, man, I'd probably be an owner, but I'd probably have me a wing stop if I put that money into a wing business. So by us doing that, like you said, like taking it into our own hands and building our own community. And when I say our own, I'm talking everybody. I don't want everybody to think that it's just black or it's just Latino or I'm saying this all my neighbors ain't black. You know so I'm saying the community.
Right. This is a universal thing, man. This is whoever you are. This is what I challenge people to be. What you taking part in, what Madison Up does in the community, we're asking you for your commitment. We're not asking you for your obligation, because when it feels like an obligation, people tend to run away from it. They tend to shy away from it. They show up once. But what we're saying is this is your commitment to you being the change you want to see in the world. Now, if you want to see the change in your world, and when I say your world, I mean the world around you. And then from there to trickle out as far as it's planned to go, as far as God, you know, has it to go. You know, so be the commitment. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Because I know for myself, you know what I'm saying, I'm that sacrifice for me. I'm going to be the change that I want to see in my world because I'm doing it for my son. I want a better future for him. I'm doing it for my little sister, daughter, Alina. So they could grow up in a better time where they, you know what I'm saying, where they have full advantage, full opportunity, full position to be able to grow and aspire and to do so many things. And, you know, stuff like that, like for our ancestors, it hurt me. Because our ancestors grew up in a time where their aspirations and dreams were limited because of the time circumstances. And so for me, I take that to heart and say, you know what? They lived, they died, they fought, and they taught, and they learned for us to be in this position right here, for us to be able to do the things that we can do, for us to be able to get out there and go vote, for us to be able to have, you know, equal opportunity. So I don't take those things lightly. I appreciate them. I feel my ancestors in my heart telling me, continue to do it. Continue to move forward.
Do you think it? Because I think a lot of these situations, when we see any neighborhood that is looking for change or needs a change, and do you think that there's a sense of hopelessness to whereas something drastic has to happen, and we hope not, you know, for something to happen, but you know what else can happen, right? You know, because we all know something could happen, but it's like, is there, you know, and sometimes like, do you think there's a sense of hopelessness to where that sense is so strong that it takes something drastic to happen, and that's sort of what keeps people from doing it? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, you know, just Alex or one of the two people, maybe somebody tried and it didn't happen.
Well, personally, I think, for one, you have to be a strong enough individual spiritually in God or the universe, whoever you believe in, Buddha, Gandhi, you know. cats,
Right.
statues, whatever,
Everything,
you know what I'm saying? You're foolish if you don't accept other people's ideals and you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And religions, you
It's
feel
a
me?
universe.
It doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing they're doing, but it's saying you be wise enough to be open to hearing what they have to say and why. But I feel like you have to be strong enough in your belief in spirituality to stand tough in the midst of adversity, to stand tough and go against the odds, the oppositions, to speak your mind. I think there's not a lot of us that's really about that because people know the sacrifice that come with it. I know the sacrifice that come with, you know what I'm saying, me speaking out. But at the same time too, it's gonna liberate a lot of other people that's been scared to speak up. That's the reality of it. So every generation has, men or women that's willing to stand up and be the voice, be the outlet, be the light that people need to see so it can wake them up. I think there's also, a lot of dead people walking. That's what my mama said. And we're not talking about a price on your head.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Walking Dead. We're talking about zombies.
Right. Not zombies or nothing like that. We're talking about dead people walking spiritually. That, you know what I'm saying? Like that third eye hasn't opened. That third eye to see. You know what I'm saying? Your community, to know that, man, I can stand up, I can do this in my area. But I also know that I have to be prepared when something fails, because I had to face a lot of failures before I got to this point. But I still have to stand tough and be strong. And you know what I'm saying? When I get weak, you have to surround yourself with people that believes in you. You know what I'm saying? I know you tired. Get up. You know what I'm saying? It's time to keep moving. So, I think that first and foremost, we need to have a lot more of that in our community. I do think, there is a sense of hopelessness, but I'm an optimistic person, so I don't believe in hopelessness.
Right.
I believe in, we can do all things. All things. And you know what I'm saying? And for me, I say all things in Christ's name because that's who I believe in. I put my faith in God, blessed and still breathing.
Oh yeah, we definitely can. I mean, we haven't even begun to really see our full potential. I mean, I don't even think we've tipped the iceberg. I think we can fly. We just haven't figured it out yet. And somebody's gonna just come up with it and be like, "Yo, we can do this the whole time." Right? We just haven't tapped into that right now.
I'm gonna bust out like that. I see you flying. What? Look,
and the only people that know how to do it are the people that make cars. That's what I think it is. They like, nah, we got to make money off of this. We can't make money if we teach you how to fly. Nah, we got to make money and keep you on the ground and give you a car.
You know what, man? I personally think that I truly believe in law of attraction. I believe that if you believe it,
the power of the mind.
because this is where it starts. Innovation creates everything around us. Everything in this room came from right here. You know, if you truly believe it, you can do it. That's that. I know some people may be like, man, that's so cliche because it says
until you do it or until you see it, and everybody's done it and just don't realize it. You played sports?
Yes.
So it's the same thing, I think, of anybody when you're in the zone. So when you're on the court or the field or the whatever, and every shot is going in. That day you just on. Can't nobody touch you running down the field. You cut left, right, and spin. You just do everything right. And you just in the zone. And then the next day you do the exact same thing and it don't work. But that time and that feeling when you just know, man, I got this. Wow. I'm 86 today. I'm doing everything. I'm in that zone. So I think we have that ability again. It's that law of attraction. It's that power of the mind, and we've all had that feeling of everything is going right. And a lot of times we kill it because we start saying, all right, when is it going to go wrong? Now you done started the whole process of, all right, now it's about to end. I can't keep making these shots. I'm going to miss one of them. Bang, I'd have missed it. You killed it right there. So when we get in that wave and we can truly do this, when you got, I think, enough people thinking that way, and it creates that vibration, and then now before you know it, there's the enrichment center.
Exactly.
There's the shopping center.
Yeah.
There's the wing spot.
Yeah.
There's everything. You know what I'm saying? Because if put it like this, people, if y'all think, remember when it was all bad and you just thought, man, this is it.
Yeah.
This is over. Man, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. I don't know how I got into it, where I'm gonna get out of this, that, and the other. And you think back, and that was so long ago.
Right.
You never thought you would be here. But how did you get here? Eventually you had to get out of there, or somebody picked you up and this, that, and the other. But think about how long ago that was.
Exactly.
And now you're here. So if you can make it out of that worst spot that you thought you would never get out of, or you in that spot and you don't think you're gonna get out of it, trust me, you're gonna make it past. You're gonna move past it. You know, there's another chapter.
Yep.
And so I really hope people get behind this.
Yeah.
And again, tell them where they can go or how they can get in contact with you.
You can get in contact with me on my Facebook page. That is Alex Riley. You also can get in contact with my board and Madison Up in general on our Facebook page. That's Madison Up on Facebook. All right. We're working on a new website right now, so that'll be coming up soon. But for the most part, you can reach us on Facebook, and you can reach me on my Gmail. That's MadisonUp11@gmail.com. You can't miss me in those places, people.
Yeah, man. So now as far as Madison, because I always like to know these things and whatnot. Are there any places in Madison where, you know, maybe your favorite places to shop, or favorite spot to hang out, or favorite restaurant, or who got the dopest wings in Madison? Like, I got it, you know. Like, are there any places in Madison, you know, that Alex likes to kick it at, shop at, and just shout out and whatnot?
You know, the best wings place is Crooked.
Okay.
Yeah, Crooked over there by Sullivan.
Okay.
But I haven't been there in I would say about 2 years.
Yeah.
But honestly, my favorite place to be when I come into the city of Madison is in the area that we're working on. You know, what I like to do is I like to walk on a lot of land that we're going to acquire, not trying, that we're going to acquire.
Yeah.
You know, and I pray over it. I do like the Indians did on their land. You know, I pray over it. I let my ideas, you know, spark. You know what I'm saying? I speak them out through, you know, these wavelengths. You know, I like to go around and talk to the residents. You know, I haven't seen neither city official go in those communities and talk to the residents to say, hey, what can we do?
Let me ask you this. Dude, now, because I've seen this happen in, I think it was Michigan, and then it was also proposed recently in Huntsville. I'm not sure about Madison if it has or hasn't, but personally, I don't want to see a police department across the street from, you know what I'm saying, right there.
With a deterrence, with a deterrence from that by delivering the stuff that we're working on bringing.
Right. So I don't want to see that. But what I wonder is, and I've wrestled with this idea that, okay, playing devil's advocate, I don't believe it, but the excuse that they would give for building a police department there, you know, the deter crime and the safety and whatever. But in Michigan, and then most recently here, they were also talking about moving police officers in certain quadrants of neighborhoods, or moving, because if you think about it, what officers live in some of these neighborhoods? So they were talking about moving officers in neighborhoods, and then some of the officers that live in neighborhoods, they work in the city that's over. Like the officers that stay out where I stay at, they're Huntsville police officers. They don't work out and they don't police Harvest or the country out there. So it's weird to me. I'm like, you stay way out here and you work that way, but whatever. So is it a good idea or a bad idea for, and I'm not talking about the bad cops. I'm talking about the cops that may be like an everyday, hey, I want to get to know the neighborhood, move in, and be a part of the community. And it just so happens, I'm a police officer, but I also live here. Right. So maybe some of these problems that we're having, whatever. So let me tell you from my experience. So when we put together
the community block party that celebrated all 8 communities. You know, we put something together where I say, hey, we want to highlight you. We want to invite you to come out and celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
So it's free food, it's music, it's moon bounces, it's games, it's good times, right?
Yeah.
So, and it was on that lot of land that we're going to acquire.
Yeah.
So what I did was, you know, I had, you know, local businesses, churches, nonprofit organizations to be a part of it, as well as the Madison Police Department. See, that was a first for them.
Yeah.
And so let me tell you what they told me. The major, you know, Major Jim and Lieutenant Wayne. You know, I really like both of them because they were straight shooters. They were straightforward with me. When I came in the office, I let them know, listen, this is what we're looking to do.
Right.
Yeah, and this is the effect that it will have. We would love to have y'all a part of it.
Yeah.
And you know what they told me was that, you know, we've been wanting to get back to the community over there, but we just didn't know how. You know what I'm saying? So when I came to them as an outlet to help them get to know the community. You feel me? Because I stayed in the area for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? So I got to see the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, how we can improve the area, so forth and so on. Right. I've seen the police and all that. You know what I'm saying? I've faced the brutalities. But, you know, this is a new day. So the ideal is that, you know what? Better policing start with, you know what I'm saying, us being able to be acquainted in ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know Officer Jim, you know what I'm saying, he coming through, guess what I'm gonna do inside my mind? I'm gonna be like, that's Officer Jim. You know what's saying, Officer? Absolutely. You feel me? But if I don't know Officer Jim, you know what I'm saying, and he see me and Officer Jim don't know Alex, then guess what? We gonna look at each other like two estranged people. Yeah. But if we break down that barrier, you know what I'm saying? And become, you know what I'm saying? We're acquainted with each other. And that's why I said in the web, where days where we get to know the police that's policing the area. You feel me? We can shake hands. How you doing, sir? Whether if it's a big conversation or not. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, my name is Darius. I know your name is Eric.
Right. Because I've thought about this, and I went to, and this was maybe last year, it had to be last year. To where I went to a meeting, and it was, some of the officers were a lot of the police officers and the lieutenants, and I think even the Decatur lieutenant came out. And they were talking, and one of the guys, he was talking about his typical day of the calls that he gets, you know, as a police officer. So somebody's playing loud music, or somebody parked in somebody's driveway, somebody did these things, and he was talking about the time that he spends doing those things as opposed to real crime, or you know, somebody's life is in danger, or something happening. And in my mind, this is what happened. So I started picturing myself as a police officer. I'm sitting in my squad car, and I get a call for somebody playing loud music. Like, I'm not going out there for that. Like, go over there and talk to them. Tell them to turn it down. I gotta come out here for that. Or somebody's arguing about something that's, they're not gonna get into it with each other, but they just may be arguing and they getting on the person's nerves. Or somebody stole something from the other person, and it's like, call me because somebody's about to break into your house, or there's something happening, or you hear someone. A violence is going on, or your child is lost, or something like that. But then I had to go through my mind. I said, man, imagine if out of 46 calls that you respond to in a day, only 2 or 3 of them really need your presence. The other 43 are something that if people were really in their community, well, I could say, Alex, bruh, why you got your car parked in my yard, man? Bro, I got people coming over, man. Can you please park next door? But I gotta call the police officer over because I don't know you.
But see, you know, that's the thing. Everybody has become so scared of each other these days because of what the media has put out there to the general public. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't walk next door and ask your neighbor for sugar no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. It was a time when we could do that, right? Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? even though you have this neighbor, you feel 100 miles away from your neighbor.
I have no idea who they are.
Exactly.
And so I think about, officers where I had to think psychologically, like kind of what that would do to your mind.
Yeah.
Where now it becomes this, I'm tired. I'm getting paid $8 an hour to come out here and tell you to turn your music down. And guess what's gonna happen when I leave? They gonna turn it right back up. And then you gonna call me right back out there. You know how many times it's gonna happen before I get out there and I get irritated?
Irritation.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think by having, like you said, for one, as neighbors, we hear the term policing our own neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To whereas I would like to get it back to that point to where if we next door neighbors and you come outside, you Tim, have you seen my son or have you seen my daughter? She was out. Nah, let's go look for her. We ain't gotta call the cops. We can. They gotta drive 30 minutes out here to come out here. We can go do it together. Or hey, can you help me with this? Or we start to help each other out. Or whatever, and start to police ourselves. But then when we really need that police officer, they can come out there and they can do whatever it is that they got to do or whatever. And we don't have to have those problems. But I think by, again, everybody being responsible and helping out one another, all of a sudden you don't need that police officer, because all the police officer is doing is something that somebody in their neighborhood won't do. That's all that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So we can do it. And then by, again, relating to that person and having that person stay in the neighborhood or just be a person that they go to your church. You see him at the wing spot. Yeah. Oh, that's Uncle Joe. What's going on, man? Let's get some of these wings.
You really want Rick Ross to buy that wing spot right there.
Ross get that wing. I got $5 on it.
All right.
$5. I got $5 on it. Ross, wait till I get my tax return. I'll put $500 on it. You know what I'm saying? That's about all I got. So let's do that. I would like to see that, man.
Okay.
I think what you're doing is incredible. What the community is doing, everybody that's involved with you, that's helping out, whether they're helping or hurting it. I appreciate them both, because you got to have both.
Right.
And I would love to. I can't wait to see it. Not that I would like to see it. I can't wait to see it happen. Because I definitely, you guys, we cannot, and I say this in the most respectful way, we cannot let a police department get built. Not there. You can build one, by all means, just not across the street. Because that used to be a school or a daycare center or something.
And it still is. It's a daycare.
So you can't put a police like there. Like, come on.
It's a church now, right there. It's a daycare. And what we're saying is, being in conjunction with the church and the daycare, we want to help offer their services to the people over across from them. So now,
I feel like churches should have daycares. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Like some of that, other opposed to just being open on Saturday or Sunday. Can I drop my kid off during the week?
But see, back then the church held more. They hosted more. You know what I'm saying? It was a place of where you can really come. It was almost like a community center itself. Now even the church is closed down until it's service hours. So you know what I'm saying? Like realizing I see life as is. But I keep myself in a space where, like I said, I can be grounded. I can still see the good nature and everything and understand the changes about life. A lot of people don't want to go out and police their own community because genuinely they're scared. They're scared because they don't want to get shot. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to get
That's how Tim got shot. He went next door, asked for some sugar, and brother shot him.
You feel me? So it's like, that's why I say you have to have those 1 in a million people that really have the guts, the courage, and not saying that they're not afraid, because you know what I'm saying, I'm afraid of things too. I'm afraid that I can't see everything that's going to, you know what I'm saying, open up and unravel. I'm afraid too. I'm human. I'm human. But at the same time, I'm brave. I have a heart to get out here and do it and say it and mean it and stand in your face and listen. I'm not backing down because I come from New Orleans. New Orleans taught us how to be stand up. They taught us to be crazy too. You know what I'm saying? So part of me, I feel like, well,
big part of me is
Yeah.
the big part of me is that New Orleans gave me that gutter side where it's like, listen, I'm gonna be body, and you know what I'm saying, and stand up for what I believe in.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So that's where I'm at in my belief, in my mind. That's why I go about that's why I go about things the way that I do. I'm gonna stand up for it because I believe in it. But you know, a lot of the world has gotten scary, and you know, ultimately, you know, it's like we can do something about it, but in the same sense we can't. People won't allow something to be done about it because they rather stay in the negative about it. And other people feel like we can because we're optimistic that we can do it.
And there's a lot of people that just need that push.
Yeah.
They need that hope. You know, they may feel a sense of hopelessness until they see, word, they really putting this community center together. Word, they really, okay, I'm with this. Bet. I got this, you know. I know Rick Ross. I'm going to call him up. You knew him this whole time. You ain't do nothing. I thought y'all were playing, you know. Because a lot of people, I think, also, you know, there's a lot of people that sold wolf tickets and that, you know, did their thing and when they came and went or whatever. But then when people see something that they can believe in, that gives them that hope. And then they say, okay, bet. You know, that's that battery I needed in my back to get up and do something. You know what I'm saying? To help out.
Let me state this right quick. First and foremost, let me give, you know, a major shout out to, you know, my boy, my dream team.
Yeah.
You know, Miss Tracy, Miss Angela, Mr. Timothy, Mr. Maurice, my secretary, Miss Jessica, my director of marketing, Rosanna. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so proud of y'all and all the hard work and belief that y'all put in Madison Up and behind me. I truly appreciate y'all, and you know, I know that, you know what I'm saying, without the contribution that y'all put in, we wouldn't be where we are today. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you. Another thing is, Jaron Isabel, I want to give you a shout out, but I want to give you this shout out to let you know that I think you're a really great videographer, and I would love to get your assistance on a video that's very descriptive and detailed. I have a record that, you know, the world needs to hear, and it's talking about our project. And, you know, we want to send it out nationally. So we need the right person to put the video behind it to tell the absolute story. So I already have a concept written up for you. So I would love to be able to sit down with you and, you know, put together an amazing image.
So let's make it happen, Duran, you know. And speaking of that record,